It's hard to believe that just a little more than a century ago, humans had no means of flight. For centuries, the idea of soaring through the sky was confined to dreams and myths. Yet today, airplanes transport millions of people across the globe every single day. How is it that something so large, so heavy, can defy gravity and race through the air at unimaginable speeds? What is the miracle behind aerodynamics? Tonight, we explore the astonishing science of flight, the incredible impact airplanes have had on modern life, and the dangers that have always loomed in the sky. Welcome to Bellows From Beyond. At first glance, an airplane seems like an impossibility. A giant metal machine, sometimes weighing hundreds of tons, slicing through the air at hundreds of miles per hour. It seems to defy all logic. How does it get off the ground? The answer lies in the science of aerodynamics, the study of how air interacts with solid objects. The most basic principle that allows planes to fly is called lift. Lift is the upward force created when air moves over and under the airplane's wings. The wings of an airplane are designed with a special shape called an airfoil. The top of the wing is curved, while the bottom is flatter. When air flows over the wing, it moves faster over the top than beneath. This difference in speed creates lower pressure on top of the wing and higher pressure underneath, generating lift. But lift alone isn't enough. For a plane to take off, it needs to generate enough thrust to overcome its own weight. The engines provide this thrust, pushing the airplane forward at incredible speeds. As the plane moves faster, the air over the wings flows more rapidly, creating more lift. It's a delicate balance of forces: lift, thrust, drag, the resistance from the air, and weight. When these forces align perfectly, we get the miracle of flight. It's hard to imagine a time when the idea of flying was considered impossible. The first successful powered flight took place on December 17, 1903, when the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, flew their flyer in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Their plane barely flew for 12 seconds, and it traveled only 120 feet. It was a humble beginning, but that moment sparked a revolution. By the 1920s, airplanes were being used for mail delivery, and aviation pioneers like Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart pushed the boundaries of flight, flying across the Atlantic and around the world. World War II saw the development of military aviation, with faster, more powerful aircraft like the B-17 Flying Fortress and the Spitfire, which changed the nature of warfare. In the post-war era, commercial air travel began to take off. The jet age arrived in the 1950s, with the introduction of jets like the Boeing 707, making air travel accessible to the masses. By the 1970s, the introduction of the Concorde, a supersonic passenger airliner, allowed planes to fly faster than the speed of sound. Today, commercial jets like the Boeing 777 and Airbus A380 can carry hundreds of passengers thousands of miles in just a few hours. The evolution of flight has shrunk the world, connecting continents in ways our ancestors could never have imagined. Before the airplane, traveling long distances was a grueling, time-consuming process. If you wanted to travel from New York to London, you'd have to endure a week-long ocean voyage or make an even longer journey by train or horse-drawn carriage. The speed of travel was limited by the capabilities of ships, trains, and horses. But with the advent of aviation, the world changed almost overnight. A flight from New York to London, which once took days, now takes only about 7 hours. We can travel halfway around the world in less time than it once took to cross a single country. Modern air travel has opened up the world to globalization, People from different continents and cultures now interact on a daily basis, sharing ideas, trade, and experiences. Business, tourism, and even diplomacy have been revolutionized by the airplane. Airplanes allow us to explore the farthest reaches of the Earth, to reach places that were once isolated and inaccessible. They make the world feel smaller and more connected, allowing families to reunite, businesses to expand, and cultures to blend. Airplanes have shrunk distances and expanded possibilities. But despite the miracles of flight, the skies have not always been a safe place. Tragedies have occurred, and the dangers of air travel are ever present. In the early days of flight, airplanes were rudimentary machines, often prone to mechanical failure. Charles Lindbergh's historic solo flight across the Atlantic was a remarkable achievement, but it also came with risks that today seem unimaginable. Over the years, air travel has become safer thanks to advancements in technology, navigation, and aircraft design. However, when disasters do strike, they often make headlines around the world. Flight MH370, which disappeared in 2014, is one of the most baffling aviation mysteries in modern history. Despite an extensive search, the wreckage has never been fully recovered. Then there's the ever-present danger of terrorism. The events of 9/11 shook the world to its core, and air travel was fundamentally changed in its aftermath. Airports became fortresses, security protocols tightened, and the experience of flying was altered forever. And of course, there are the accidents and crashes that still occur despite our advancements. Even one crash is a tragedy, and while the statistics are in our favor, the odds of dying in a plane crash are about 1 in 11 million, the trauma of these events lingers in the minds of travelers. As we look to the future, aviation continues to evolve. The dream of commercial spaceflight is becoming a reality, with private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin pushing the boundaries of flight beyond the Earth's atmosphere. The idea of flying into space for leisure or business is no longer science fiction. Additionally, environmental concerns are pushing the aviation industry to innovate. Electric planes, sustainable fuel sources, and more efficient aircraft designs are being developed in response to the growing need for greener travel. The supersonic jet, once reserved for the Concorde, may also make a return, promising to shrink the time it takes to travel across the globe even further. Could we one day fly from New York to Tokyo in 3 hours? The possibilities are endless. Yet, as with every new frontier, there will always be challenges. The technology must keep pace with safety concerns, and as aviation grows, so must our understanding of the complexities and dangers it entails. Airplanes have transformed our world in ways we couldn't have imagined a century ago. From the Wright brothers' first flight to the advanced jets of today, we've conquered the skies and connected the world in ways that are truly miraculous. But with this progress comes responsibility, and we must continue to ensure that safety, security, and sustainability guide the future of aviation. As we soar through the skies, we are reminded of the delicate balance between innovation and danger, between the dream of flight and the risks that come with it. If you've been inspired by the magic of flight, remember to like, subscribe, and join us for more stories that take us to the heights of human achievement, into the beyond.